During the Halloween season, most people love to dress up in costumes of their favorite superheroes, supervillains, or even iconic horror movie monsters. And today we are looking at Two-Face as Batman. Now, why is Two-Face dressed up in a Batman costume? I don't know the reason why, because I've never read this storyline before. Now, if you have read this story and you want to provide context in the comments below, it would be much appreciated. And with that said, before I talk about the accessories and the figure, let's take a quick look at the data profile card. As you can see, there is this beautiful comic book artwork of Two-Face in the Batman costume with his own twist to the colors, looking pretty cool. This is from Batman Reborn, and on the backside, you do have your usual read-up for who the character is. However, this only provides the origin for Two-Face's character, and it does not provide context to why he's wearing the costume. But nevertheless, since I've never talked about Two-Face until now, let's read this. His real name is Harvey Dent, and it reads, "A prominent and well-educated district attorney, Harvey Dent fought valiantly to uphold the law and make the city a better place. In any other city, it would have worked. Not in Gotham, a place where greed and corruption stretch from the depths of Crime Alley to the shimmering heights of the mayor's office. Dent's spiral into Gotham's madness came swiftly after a criminal threw acid into his face, leaving half of it horribly scarred. Seeking refuge in the underbelly of Gotham, the name Harvey Dent and all the good it stood for was lost, and Two-Face rose from the darkness." This is a really good read-up on who this character is, and yeah, pretty cool to finally be talking about Two-Face for the first time. Well, not a normal Two-Face, this iteration of Two-Face. And with that said, let's talk about the accessories that are included with this figure. He comes with 6 interchangeable hands total. Technically 4 in the box, but if you count the 2 that are on the figure, then it's 6 interchangeable hands. So as you can see, he has a fist hand for his right arm. He has this open gesture hand for his left arm, which also has the coin that is sculpted inside because, Two-Face always makes decisions by flipping heads or tails. And for the interchangeable hands that he comes with, for the right arm, he does have 2 different hand gestures as well. He comes with the open gesture hand and this item holding hand, as you can see right here. So he can hold a batarang or hold a gun, whatever you want him to hold. There's the ability for that. And for his left arm, he also comes with a item holding hand and also a fist hand. So you can have him with both his hands. Pretty cool. And that's pretty much all the accessories that this figure comes with. When it comes to aesthetics, what I like about this figure is mainly the head sculpt and the color design of his costume. In terms of the body buck, it is the same Batman Hush body buck we have seen before, and if you know how that body buck articulates, it's not the best in my opinion. So let's just talk about the things that are good. So for the head sculpt here, I really like what they did with the overall sculpt of it. You can see the whole half and half, right, where one side of his face is really scarred up from the burn and the other side is pretty normal. And even applying that sort of texture detail to the top part of the mask is an interesting choice because you would think that when he's wearing this mask, you won't see those sort of details for the top part of this side of the face. And even in the comic book artwork, you can see that it's kind of hidden, right? But what I like about what they did with the figure is that they decided to make the other side of the mask match the whole aesthetic of the other side of his face. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, overall, pretty good head sculpt here. And for the rest of the design of the costume, I love this sort of like half and half color that we have here, where it's like a mix of like different colors for certain areas, right? So like, it's black on this side, red on this side, but then for the bat logo, you have like the red color here and you have the black color. Same thing with the belts. Like this sort of change here does give the costume a really cool looking vibe to it. And even the cape, with this whole like half and half color, that's a really cool thing. So when it comes to the design of this costume, I like what they did here because, it does represent Two-Face's character, 2 halves of 2 different personalities. And that's really all I can say for the aesthetics of this figure because there's not a whole lot else to talk about. It's very simple. It's a repaint. And in this sense, it does match the source material. So yeah, since I talked about the articulation for this figure mold in the past, and you already know how this figure mold articulates, let's just move on to the comparisons. And for the first figure that I want to compare him to, let me just move him to the side. Here he is next to the gold label Mr. Miracle, who is one of the more recent figures that I picked up recently. They look pretty cool together, even though, he's a villain and he's a superhero. But there's that. Here he is next to the Wesley Dodds Sandman, who is the other gold label that came out recently. And as you can see, they scale all right. And for a non-DC figure, but also from Mcfarlane, here he is next to the Megafig Spawn Overkill figure. And as you can see, Overkill is taller than him in scale, which makes sense because Megafigs are supposed to be bigger. And for the last comparison, here he is next to the Transformers Legacy United Breakdown. And as you can see, he is taller than Breakdown in scale. And that will be it for the comparisons for today's review. If you found this quick little review of Two-Face as Batman informative, do give this video a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel for more action figure content and whatever else I do on here, it would be much appreciated. And with that said, take care, and I will see you in the next video.